What technology problems are keeping you up at night? Here to lead our first live problem-solving session, Laurie Davis with Better Home and Gardens Lifestyle Property Partners and Raj Qsar with the Boutique Real Estate.
All right, well, real quick, I have to do another one of these because we have a lot of people standing. I'm being told a lot. We've got to get people to come sit down, so please come and find seats. We just don't want to have any issues with the building or anything here. So let's go. Here we go. We got two awesome experts. I've got a boatload of questions. Some of you, thank you for sending your questions to the back. I've got them here, and we're going to kind of fly with real, challenges in the industry. First one I love a lot because it's so authentic. I'll try and read the way he scripted this question. I used to be able to keep up with social media and considered myself like a leader in the space. But as a broker owner manager with 40 agents, I'm actually becoming overwhelmed with Facebook and social media. Could you imagine that, right? So the question is it time to hire a social media manager to handle social? And if it is, assuming it's a $30,000 role, how do I track it? What do I do with them?
First thing I'm going to say is I feel your pain because, I was early on and highly involved in social media for many years and is rapidly growing and changing, and it is hard to keep up with, so definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of said we travel 55 miles per hour in a 100 miles per hour world, you know what I mean? And so what we've recently done is we've just gone through the process of hiring a social media manager again, so it's our third one over the course of the last 6 years. But there's a lot of great places to do that. I think 30,000 is not enough, especially if you want someone really, really good.
So tell me, what are you looking for when you're hiring them? Are you looking for savviness in all of them? Are you giving them full trust to post on your behalf? Or are you looking at them just to kind of help aggregate media and content for you?
Yeah, so they're doing a little bit of everything. That's a great question. So we give them access to everything. And the neat thing about, well, let me step back. The perfect candidate is someone in their senior year of college looking for their first job. That is the ideal candidate. Great places to post would be places like Indeed.com or LinkedIn. They're all over that. And what's really fun is they think they're going to teach us stuff, but what's really exciting is we get to teach them stuff because they're using social mostly for like selfie status and duck lips and all that kind of stuff. But when they find out how like tech savvy our industry really is, it's really exciting to see them grow and excel and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you could do that. So that's kind of the neat part of it.
Yeah, they know the platforms, but they don't know the techniques. So that's where we get to come in and kind of teach them a little bit and then let them run with it.
So in a follow-up, what goes through my mind as owning brokerages in the past is, A, can I trust someone with all of my social access? And B, what about when we get into the depth of like really strategic advertising? Because that's where I think we need the help is not just placing an ad, but knowing how to really place good ads that are going to get an ROI. So first one is the trust. You put all your trust in one person with all your access?
Well, I think that's where the hiring process comes in.
It's tough.
Anybody you hire, you're putting a lot of trust in. So definitely, I think if you have a great process in place for that, then absolutely, you have to. I mean, obviously, you're going to be checking in, and you're going to see what they're doing on
right.
Hopefully a daily basis. You're going to kind of peek at what's going on with your brand. But yeah, I think you have to have some trust.
Yeah.
And definitely on Facebook, as you all know, there's different levels of access you can give your staff who's managing your Facebook stuff. So there's editors and administrators and all that kind of stuff, creators. So I think that's important too, that they know the different levels. Instagram's a little bit different. You don't have that.
Sure, and that's what I was hoping to come out is give different levels of access. I just, I know that Caliber may know the platforms, but obviously we've got to keep it organic as well and let them know it's not just about posting, it's about the real social aspect.
Right, and over time you can increase their level of access and control.
Well, posting, talking to the people who engage with you, liking, commenting, and replying back.
So the follow-up to their question was, is this a $30,000 a year position out of college or wherever it is?
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun to pay people well. I really do, especially if they're going to do and listen to you. So I think it's more than $30,000 a year. I mean, a lot of kids these days are excited to have a job, and then once they see your online presence, they're like, oh my gosh, you've got a zillion followers on this or that or that. I get to manage that, and they that's like their language. That's where they live and breathe, and they understand followers. So I think it's important to them and important to pay them well.
Right. Well, and I think it also depends on your market and what size company and what you're doing.
Sure.
And I would also suggest even early on, you could also have an internship type thing where you allow them a certain level and gain experience in learning.
So do an
before they
intern
actually
maybe
take
to
the
a
job.
full-time job. Yeah, good ideas. Okay, so another question following up, different person. Really challenged in the business with solutions to manage teams, also tying in social media, but they're trying to manage a team, so they need to know what systems to use, and then also how to tie in all the leads together as well to that team. So real tough challenge. I guess they brought in a few people together. Everyone's using a different platform. They need some systems to unify it.
So
that's a big
I
problem.
kind of have a feeling this is like the CRM question, but hidden a little bit.
It is not a
I don't know
CRM
about
question.
You guys. So, I mean, obviously, our industry has transformed. And back in the day, I always say this, is our website used to be the hub. That's kind of where we wanted everything to go to. I think that's definitely changed. I think your website's now a spoke, and the hub is your CRM. And I think it's vital that every single thing that you're doing online leads into your CRM and is funneled, and it's able to be shared with everyone on the team. So whether it's a notification, an email, or a text, whatever it is, that is critical, and everyone needs to be trained on it as well. You can't join my team unless you do it my way, and this is my way.
Yeah, it's kind of, this is what we use. And if you want to be on my team, this is what you will use. It's not a free-for-all.
So the simplicity of find one solution that can integrate as much of that stuff into one place. Does any of them come to mind that you guys have used, or is it like a follow-up boss? Is it a, what is it?
I always say the best CRM is the one that you'll use.
Right.
And
But is this a CRM we're talking about, or are we talking about something bigger for lead management?
Well, there's a couple things that you can do, and I think yesterday I spoke about the integration of APIs, and that's kind of where we are now. Everything's integrating with everything else, so I think it's important you find things that play together well in the sandbox. So all of our agents utilize an enterprise level of contactually, and that's what they're using.
Okay.
Brokerage level, we have a different CRM we use, and that's Follow-Up Boss.
Gotcha. Okay, and I understand that challenge, but I think the point you make is, this is my team, my system. We all have to learn this. This is how it's going to roll when I have a team. And I think this person was struggling with, everyone wants to use different stuff, and that's just not going to be a team. That's just not how it's going to work. So, all right, good. Another question came in is, hey, I got a listing, but they want me to shoot video. I've never shot video before. Where do I start with it? What should I use? I guess a newbie.
well, you came to the right person.
You want to take the video question? or
Well,
you want me to
true,
take it?
relevant,
Well,
but
I think there's a lot of different levels to it, and
That's
I think
why.
there's people like Raj who do amazing work, and then there are the everyday agents like we have at our company, and we approach it from maybe a different perspective. But
I think we could all agree a photo slideshow is not a video, and that's not good enough anymore.
there you go.
Okay, I really think that. And video's progressed a lot of different ways. There's some really cool people out there, agents in our industry, doing video on their iPhone in their car or doing a walkthrough. With Zillow video walkthroughs, you could do that. With Facebook Live, you could do that. So there's lots of different platforms all the way to where you're hiring actors and actresses and producers and directors from USC Film School and bringing fancy cars in and jumping in helicopters and paying that pet dog, French bulldog, to run through a house, and that French bulldog has its own agent. So there's all these various ways of doing video now, but the whole thing is you got to jump in, you got to do it, and it's got to be you. You just do you.
right.
Just do you. And I think the intimidation was, do I just hire somebody for $400 to do one? I think when you're really new, there's so many options.
Well, there's no $400 people in Orange County, California.
Not Orange.
To hire video, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're stuck. And then you get them doing the iPhone thing, which is not stabilized. It's a hot mess. They think they're doing video, but I want you to repeat what you just said again. Slideshow, video, slideshow.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that a photo slideshow is not a video.
Not a video. I want that and make sure we hear that. That's very important.
If you get into it, there's some amazing people doing video right now, and I think a lot more than there was in years previous, but the ROI of video is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've never been so impacted by something we've done at the brokerage or agent level by video itself. It's the best thing for your business.
Yeah, my partner has been doing video for years, and it's not perfect. He messes up, but he does it, and he just keeps doing it, and people love it. They get to know you through your video, what they're never going to get to know you through that slideshow. So I think the biggest thing is just do it. Don't be afraid. And people say I don't like the way I look. Well, guess what? That's the way you look. So just do it.
That's
Yeah.
what you look like on video and in front of your clients. It's
And
not
sometimes
changing.
even worse in
It's
real
not
life,
changing.
just for the record.
But here's the thing. Here's a great takeaway for all of you. We shot a video on a listing in Orange County. We wrote a post about it. It got picked up by Realtor.com. Realtor.com pushed it out. It got picked up by Fox News. And we got over 3 million impressions on it. After that, we got a call from Bravo that's like, hey, we saw this video. This is awesome. Here's a show we're thinking about putting you on. All from a video.
Right.
We're not doing video to sell that house, even though we want to sell that house. We're doing it for that house, for the next house, for the next house. Content, creation, evergreen, everything's online for the world to see.
Right.
We do a lot of local video, and we get clients who call us up just because they saw we did a golf cart tour of, I live in Pinehurst, so the village of Pinehurst. So we
Yeah.
did a tour. We jumped in the golf cart, and we just videoed going through the town, and people love that. And we get people that just call us up and say, hey, I love what you did. I want you to be my agent. So.
And there's all these YouTubers. Have you guys heard that term?
If you have any-
YouTubers out there, and
If
they're
you have any kids, you know darn well what we're talking about.
Yeah,
My
I've
kids
got
have their
3,
favorite
so I know,
YouTubers.
and they're sitting there talking about their day and how they had a breakfast burrito from Taco Bell for breakfast, and then how they, were walking down the sidewalk, and they're videoing their whole entire life. And I got to know this term, and I got to know someone who I was working with that was referred to me from LA. He's like, she's a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, a YouTuber. And I jump on her channel, and she's got 18 million subscribers. I'm like,
Yep.
Who is this person? 18 million? That's probably all of our subscribers combined on every single channel that we know in real estate. So.
But I think the other thing you need to think about, and you can talk about this, is once you do the video and you put it on YouTube, then what? People aren't just going to automatically go and find you on YouTube.
Well, then the work begins. Yeah.
Are you guys, I'm just curious, it's totally a more techie question. At the end of, when it's on YouTube, because YouTube changed the way you could do overlays now at the very end of the videos. Are you guys doing any overlays at the very end, like that last 20 seconds, where you could put up, see my next listing or subscribe? Because what happens is you lose them after that, but now they allow overlays at that last 20 seconds where you can at least keep and contain that customer. Are you starting to use those? Or?
Yeah, you always lose them at the end because then they see the kitty stuck in the tree and they're drawn to that and they want to click on that. But yeah, so front bumper, rear bumpers are kind of what we're doing to get them to the next video. And YouTube's got some cool settings where you could point them to the direction of the next video you want to go to once they're towards the end of the video they're watching.
Yeah, it's in the video manager section. Just overlays, you're allowed up to 3. When you actually really become a cool kid and have over 10,000 views, you can actually have a subscribe and some other stuff that opens up features and locks. So, so ROI, everyone talks about it. You say you get the best ROI, but I don't think, now you have different. You're in a bit of a high-end area where you got a lot of that activity. How could people measure that ROI from did I ever get a listing from it? Did it ever turn into something else? What do you look at from ROI? What do you measure?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things we measure in regards to video. So a great story, and I love to tell stories, is it's the second video we ever shot ever. The first video isn't live because we're so embarrassed by the quality of it. But the second video we ever shot was we wanted to tell a story in a neighborhood, and we did a pretty fun Facebook ad. We shot out the video to our Sphere, a little 30-second trailer. We kind of knew once we saw the results from the email campaign that we had a 56% click-through rate on the video. The Facebook ad had an 80% click-through rate, and that Saturday we were hosting an open house, and about an hour before the open house started, a family with 3 kids showed up and said, hey, we're here for the open house. And I was like, well, we have it, it doesn't start for an hour, but they're like, we know, but we wanted to be here early before the rest of the world came, and their kids all already knew which bedroom they were going to take from the video. They all knew. They're like, this is where the little girl was running up the stairs. This is where the kids jumped in the pool.
It's amazing.
This is what I want. And guess what? They were unrepresented. We got to represent them. We had the highest close sale in that city ever to that point in time.
Yeah.
And they ended up buying the house, which was absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
I don't know how much better you could measure ROI than that.
It's a great way to do it. Yeah, it's fantastic, right? And that knows it's memorable, knows it's worked. I just always like to say that once you create that awesome video, to me, that impact is, okay, that's how I'm gonna go get my next 2 listings. That video is gonna win me the next 5. So spend the damn money and get a good listing.
Yeah, well, there's
video
something
done,
about showing up with a van or 2 behind you with 14 cases of equipment and a tent, and you're bringing food, and you have a makeup artist and a producer yelling at people don't do it this way, do it this way, don't do it. And then neighbors start coming out of their house, right? We're in total suburbia, Orange County. And people are like, what the heck's going on? All their Ring doorbells are going off because drones are flying everywhere and all this crazy stuff. And so people come out and they're like, what are you doing? They're like, are you shooting a commercial? We're like, no, actually, we're a real estate company. marketing your neighbor's home. Do you want to sell? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
that's
Now, if they did that in your market, Laura,
Yeah, I mean, we show up with the drone, and it's not quite as dramatic, but it gets attention when they see you doing something that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it makes you stand out. Even though we do it a little less production, it makes us stand out in our market. So I think it's something that we all need to really think about going into the future. I think. We talk about our visual marketing at this point. We call it visual marketing.
that's right, big change. And the words is changing, shifting. I'm listening to everyone, even still today, talk about digital marketing.
But people
Digital's
react
old.
differently. I think video brings out an emotion that maybe photography doesn't. People are like, oh, that's an amazing photo. And that's a great kitchen. But then video's like, I remember the girl running up the stairs here. This
Right.
is where she jumped in the pool.
Right.
The husband or the wife or whatever, they're like, oh, we could totally have dinner here.
Yeah, you're
together
creating
as
the
a
emotion
family."
and an attachment.
They attach, like unlike anything else.
So let's stop digital marketing and let's start visual marketing.
Yes.
Visual marketing. Good job. So tying right into visual, someone asked a question is they're on the fence about whether how often they should virtually stage properties, whether it's virtual or whether it's real. They got a lot of vacant properties they need to market, and they're stuck as the debate what to do.
Yeah, I think the big question, we've never virtually staged, but we stage every single one of our listings. So we operate maybe just a little bit differently. We've got two warehouses full of furniture. So from plants and chairs and tables and photos and to the little fake strawberries that go on the dining room table. I mean, we've got everything that it takes to stage a home. So we hire movers. I mean, it's one of the most, besides shooting like real live video, it's one of the most complicated things to do. Stager comes in, gets the movers, stages the house, and then destages once contingencies are removed. Virtual staging sounds very attractive to me because it sounds easy, but there's something about walking into a space and the stuff still being there that I find valuable. So our stagers are also trained in feng shui, so they know the exact amount of wood to metal to water to everything that needs to be in the space. And there's a certain feeling, once again, in emotion when you walk into a space, and you could see it in the buyer's eyes a lot of time. They kind of pause, take a moment, and they're like, oh, that's a perfect place for that couch. That's a great place for that plant. The TV goes right there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we feel about it.
I think it's staging will sell a home. So I think that's the key thought here. And maybe we can't all do the kind of staging that you guys can do. So what are the other options?
Virtual.
And we do some virtual staging. We've used Box Brownie, which is amazing. I mean, I think there's all kinds of ways to go about it, but I know they do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
And what we've done is taken the home that's empty, and we have the photograph. We always use a professional photographer. Again, that's our visual marketing. It's
Right.
not, we don't go cheap.
Yeah.
So we have a professional photographer that takes beautiful photos, but then we also will go back and do some virtual staging so that they can see what it looks like.
Sure.
And how furniture would fit in that room. And I love what they do because it doesn't look virtual. It looks real. So.
Right. And I think, with the attention span of our consumers and Instagram and the time of 3 seconds to get there, if you don't have at least a really good, whether virtual staged photo for that first photo, magically you're going to lose them.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So you're using Box Brownie for virtual. Now, do you have to put a disclosure? Is there anything you have to say to the real estate agent, like, hey, when you show up, it's not going to be anything there? Or like,
Well,
you have to disclose that, or do you?
I think a lot can depend on your MLS rules.
Sure.
So make sure you check there.
Ask your broker.
But we often will have photos of a house that has furniture in it, but then the furniture's gone later when people see it. So not sure how it would be any different than that. But again, I would check with your local rules, your broker, ask your broker, and make sure.
Okay.
So, I don't think that's an across the board.
Last quick question. I'm not sure if it's something you guys actually practice, but we're thinking is, the obvious answer is people, but for lead responses, is there any other solution for quicker lead response? I mean, obviously it should be just us, but are you using anything, or have you heard things that are good for quick lead responses, automation, or something to communicate?
One thing that has been really valuable for us is Get Riley Now. So it's an auto texter 24/7 within 2 minutes. GetRileyNow.com. It links to every online lead gen that you're using, and it's someone real, live, in natural language talking back to that client via text.
Yep.
So yesterday I gave the example, we have like a 50% response rate via text. The other 50% that isn't responding, 25% didn't give a phone number, 25% gave a wrong number.
Interesting.
So it works on everything. So from every online portal that you have to digital marketing, retargeting, whatever has an email address, links to that.
Awesome.
And it's two-way texting. So you can see the conversation happening on your phone, and you can jump in anytime you want.
Yeah, I think that's a great option. I think whatever you do, respond, because I think that's our biggest problem is that we
Sure.
don't respond at all.
And last for 20 seconds, have you guys seen the new app in the App Store for text for quick responses? Like, for example, BombBomb has an app in the App Store. So if you have a video already done, let's say on BombBomb, you can open up the text message in the App Store, it opens up all your BombBomb videos right there. It drops it right into your text, and that auto responds with your personal message too. So
Nice.
a nice add-on to that. It's a really slick thing. All right, so we're out of time, guys. Listen, thank you guys for your time so much. We appreciate all your expertise. Give them a big round of applause, guys. Come on. Appreciate you. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Thank you.